So let's use a wire brush to clean off the old Loctite thread sealant on the bolts that secure the wheel bearing to the spindle. Alright, make sure you torque the 4 bolts. And here is the new control arm next to the old one. Now, just as a note, as we're installing this new upper control arm, it's very crucial that we do not torque the bolt that goes through the bushing until the car is completely flat on the ground with the entire weight of the car on it. If we prematurely torque that bolt while the car is in the air, the bushings will tear the moment that you lower the car onto the ground. Don't forget to install our flat washer with our new lock nut, and we'll torque the new nut down to 59 foot-pounds. Before we torque this down, we're going to use a 22mm wrench to hold the nut, and we have a 6mm Allen to hold the stud of the control arm. Once this is tight, we're going to torque it with the torque wrench. And now this is all the play when you're hitting the brakes on the highway and you get all that shimmy and vibration in your steering wheel. This is that bad bushing that's causing it right here. Alright guys, now we're ready to install the strut assembly back into the spindle and back into the car. And just as a note here, we have an R for right side, passenger side, and L for driver side, the left side. And if you remember, there is a slot in between this in the spindle where this tube slides into. Now, right where the pinch bolt goes, we're going to align that slot based on which side of the car that we're installing the strut back into. So since we're installing this on the passenger side, it's the right side of the car, that little window we're going to align with the R right here. Now at this point I have a spare jack, and we can just jack up the entire assembly so we can reinstall the strut bearing, the strut mount, back to the strut tower. And we'll give those a final torque once the car is settled on the ground. Okay guys, here's the part that I was talking about, where we have now aligned the strut. You can see the R is aligned with the gap in the spindle, or the hub. And we've jacked up the spindle. Everything is connected. And we've jacked it up so that it is reached the top of its travel limit on the strut tube. So the strut tube is now fully inserted into the hub, or the spindle. And now we can tighten that pinch bolt, which is an 18mm bolt on each side. So we're going to use an 18 socket and an 18 wrench, and we'll tighten that up. Alright, so I'm going to tighten up the 18mm pinch bolt. The torque spec on that, I believe, is 60 foot-pounds of torque. We're going to put the sway bar link back on. The torque on that, I believe, is about 25. Anyway, I'll put it in the description below. Then I'm going to put the brakes back together. We'll put the wheel on the car, lower it on the ground, and we can tighten up and torque the bolt that is on the inner bushing on that upper control arm. We don't want to forget about that. Alright, let's install the new sway bar link. Yes, it's a Lemporter. Okay guys, so we've lowered the car down onto these ramps, so the full weight of the car is still on these two ramps. Now all we have to do is torque our bolt here for the upper thrust arm bushing. We'll replace the belly pan, and we're done. And don't forget to put the little cover back onto the control arm bushing. And let's not forget to torque down the 3 nuts on the top of the strut tower